Are you satisfied with the current state of your life? If you're reading this book, it's likely you're seeking improvement. Perhaps you're hoping for progress in your relationships as you or your partner have hit a roadblock. Maybe you're feeling trapped in a job you dislike or believe you're not reaching your full physical potential. It's essential to recognize that experiencing challenges is a natural part of the human journey. There's no such thing as a flawless existence filled only with endless joy and success. Reality offers opportunities for growth and enhancement. Many of us are living beneath our potential, aware that we possess the raw materials for significant success and fulfillment. However, often due to self-imposed limitations, we fall short of our aspirations. Consequently, we may find ourselves plagued by feelings of guilt, regret, anger, or blame. It's crucial to acknowledge that the primary obstacle to progress is often oneself. Numerous accomplished individuals have faced adversity and naysayers, but persevered to achieve greatness. Your background or current circumstances do not define your potential. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, noted, circumstances merely reveal one's character. Every situation presents an opportunity for growth, even if it may initially seem unfavorable. By shifting your perspective, you can transform challenges into blessings. Unfortunately, many of us expect life to be fair and straightforward, leading to resentment and disillusionment when faced with obstacles. Realizing the power of your subconscious mind is key to unlocking your full potential. While your conscious mind plays a role in shaping your reality, neglecting the subconscious limits your capabilities. This book aims to illustrate how harnessing the power of your subconscious can lead to personal fulfillment and achievement beyond monetary success. By understanding and nurturing your subconscious, you can lead a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Our conscious mind operates within limits. Constrained by perception and past experiences, the conscious mind operates on a garbage in, garbage out principle. It's only as effective as the information it receives. To fully unleash its potential, it requires the support of the subconscious mind. Relying solely on the conscious mind confines us to a mental prison. When we exclusively engage our reasoning and emotions rooted in the conscious realm, we are bound by the constraints of space, time, and circumstance. Yet beyond our immediate senses lies an expansive world, with layers waiting to be explored. Unfortunately, fixating solely on the tangible blinds us to these deeper dimensions, leaving us enslaved by sensory limitations. The conscious mind is susceptible to manipulation. Throughout history, even esteemed figures have espoused beliefs and actions that clash with modern sensibilities. Their worldview was shaped by the confines of their era. While their contributions endure, their limitations are evident. Similarly, our reliance on the conscious mind renders us similarly bound. Our existence is shaped by various limitations, including our circumstances. We are molded by the context in which we live, our era, upbringing, and cultural background. Judging others solely based on their circumstances is flawed, as we are all products of our environments. However, this acknowledgement doesn't absolve us from striving for excellence within our constraints. Cultural influences run deep, impacting our worldview, values, and priorities. While superficial differences like attire and cuisine define cultures, their significance extends to shaping our outlook, interpersonal relationships, and aspirations. Cultural identity fosters a sense of belonging, compelling conformity and exerting considerable influence on individual behavior. These limitations, rather than expanding our minds, often constrict them. Instead of propelling us to new heights, they dampen our sense of possibility, constraining our ability to chart our own path. Recognizing and transcending these constraints is essential for realizing our full potential and leading lives aligned with our aspirations. Just how limited is our conscious mind? Our training imposes limitations on us. From childhood, our parents instill values and behaviors that shape our future. Whether raised in a traditional American household or a different setting, those who cared for us heavily influence our trajectory. This conditioning restricts our conscious mind, which is capable of considering various paths but often adheres to the first map it encounters. Habit binds the conscious mind. Human tendency favors the familiar, even when better options exist. Despite knowing our potential, we cling to routines and programming out of comfort. The allure of the unknown is overshadowed by the inertia of habit, trapping us in familiar patterns. Reputation holds sway over the conscious mind. Many seek validation from others, reinforcing existing programming to avoid standing out. Fear of deviating from societal norms leads to conformity, even when alternative paths offer greater potential. This collective mindset often hampers individual growth, preventing us from reaching our full potential. Emotion frequently overrides the conscious mind. Impulsive decisions driven by emotion are common, particularly in consumer behavior. Despite knowing the consequences, we succumb to emotional impulses, disregarding rational judgment. This emotional dominance undermines our ability to align actions with values, resulting in regrettable choices. The conscious mind is powerful but self-limited. Your conscious mind is your greatest asset. Each person possesses a unique mind, shaping their individual experiences and outcomes. Altering your mindset can lead to significant changes, though the process isn't always straightforward. Nonetheless, transforming your mindset is the initial step toward fundamental change. Your conscious mind influences how you perceive reality. Despite being bombarded with countless stimuli, you selectively filter and interpret what you perceive based on your programming. This interpretation, influenced by your mindset, triggers emotional responses that dictate your actions and words, ultimately shaping your reality. Your life reflects your mindset. Mindset isn't just a background factor, it profoundly influences every aspect of your existence. From your appearance and speech to your social circle and aspirations, mindset permeates every facet of life. Unfortunately, many underestimate its significance, viewing it as inconsequential. However, embracing your mindset as a conscious choice can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. Your conscious mind often succumbs to your mindset. While the conscious mind is powerful, it operates within the confines of the mindset you install. Like software on a computer, your mindset dictates the output of your mental processing. Despite possessing immense potential, many squander it by adopting negative, limiting perspectives, resulting in a distorted reality. You frequently underutilize the power of your conscious mind. Engaging in enriching activities like reading novels or contemplating art can yield profound insights and transformative breakthroughs. Unfortunately, many neglect these opportunities, opting instead for mindless distractions like social media. By filling your mind with trivialities, you hinder its potential for growth and self-discovery, leaving you feeling overwhelmed and drained. In essence, your conscious mind is a powerful tool waiting to be harnessed. By actively shaping your mindset and engaging in meaningful pursuits, you can unlock its full potential and lead a more fulfilling life. Your conscious mind needs the help of your subconscious mind. To achieve a breakthrough, you must reconnect with your subconscious mind. Every individual possesses a subconscious mind, a universal aspect of human experience. However, many remain unaware of its existence, and some actively resist acknowledging it due to fear and reluctance to take responsibility. Understanding the subconscious mind is challenging because its operations are less overt than those of the conscious mind. While we consciously make judgments, decisions, and interact with others, the subconscious mind operates behind the scenes. It's essential to recognize some of its key attributes. Your subconscious mind comprises your collective non-conscious memory. Despite consciously filtering and remembering only a fraction of external stimuli, your subconscious mind absorbs information indiscriminately. Unlike the conscious mind, it's not bound by biases or habits, making it adept at recalling relevant details and informing decisions. Your subconscious mind connects you to humanity through your primal instincts. While the cerebral cortex is lauded for its reasoning abilities, it relies on support from the lizard brain, the older, instinct-driven part of the brain. Though often dismissed as primitive, the lizard brain serves a vital role in processing essential survival instincts and cutting through complexities to focus on core needs. Your subconscious mind transcends emotions, enabling you to override irrational impulses. Despite the chaos of conscious thought, the subconscious establishes order and clarity. However, many fear this aspect of themselves, reluctant to acknowledge darker tendencies such as schadenfreude, the pleasure derived from others' misfortune, rooted in evolutionary survival instincts. Your subconscious mind serves as the wellspring of intuition, guiding you in unfamiliar situations. Intuition isn't merely luck or recalling past experiences, it's the subconscious mind's ability to synthesize information and anticipate outcomes. While intuition isn't infallible, its reliability warrants attention and acknowledgement. Reconnecting with your subconscious mind unlocks untapped potential and enhances decision-making and problem-solving abilities. Embracing its insights and guidance empowers you to navigate life's complexities with greater clarity and purpose. Learn to control your subconscious mind. Below is a concise preview of the upcoming 5 chapters, offering steps to harness the power of your subconscious mind to enhance your conscious awareness. 1. Stop denying your subconscious mind. Begin by acknowledging and embracing the presence of your subconscious. Instead of dismissing its influence, recognize its role in shaping your experiences and decisions. 2. Move beyond chance. Life may appear random at times, but beneath the surface lies careful planning and intentionality. Learn to recognize patterns and opportunities by aligning your conscious actions with your subconscious guidance. 3. Collaborate with your subconscious. Shift from fearing your subconscious to actively working in harmony with it. Utilize its vast potential as a resource for problem-solving and decision-making, transforming it from a perceived threat to a valuable ally. 4. Trust your subconscious as your compass. Allow your subconscious to guide you like a compass, especially when navigating unfamiliar territory. Trust its intuitive insights and combine them with past experiences to chart a course toward your goals. 5. Conduct a subconscious self-audit. Explore the depths of your subconscious through self-reflection and introspection. Embrace the journey of self-discovery, acknowledging your mind's power, versatility, and resilience. Though initially daunting, confronting your subconscious fears can lead to profound personal growth and empowerment. Just because it's hidden doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Your subconscious mind is all too real. If you are in any way unhappy with your life, much of it is because you have relied too much on your conscious mind. You have left dormant your most powerful possession, your full mind. Your full mind, of course, is made up of both your conscious and subconscious mind. Whatever you have achieved, whatever you are proud of, whatever it is people pat you on the back for, deep down inside, you know you could be doing more, and you could have gone farther. Unfortunately, you relied only on your conscious mind. In fact, if you're like most people, you feel that's the only thing you can do. Stop using your subconscious mind as a Ferrari doorstop. How ridiculous is the idea of a Ferrari doorstop? Can you imagine spending more than $400,000 on a car only to use it as a doorstop or paperweight? Sounds crazy, right? Too stupid to be true. Well, that's how most people deal with their subconscious mind. They're scared of it. They don't exactly know what it is. So they set it aside and then just focus on their conscious mind. And guess what happens? They don't thrive as well as they would if all cylinders of their minds were working. This requires the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will hold you back if you don't deploy it. Your intuition, as powerful as it is, can always work against you. You can develop negative instincts. Have you ever noticed that a lot of successful people who otherwise dominate their field of expertise and are at the top of their game often sabotage themselves? This is because they did not let their subconscious in on their plans. So what happens is your subconscious mind fuels your negative instincts. Please understand that for everything that you work for, there is always an opposite force. Unfortunately, if you don't master your subconscious mind, it will always end up on the other end. Let's put it this way: if you're working towards a goal, what naturally happens in your mind? You're all pumped up and excited about your goal. You're making all these plans, you're putting in work. Everything looks good, but on the other side of your consciousness is the part that's doubting. The other part is saying that it can't be done. The other part that is saying that you don't have it in you. Guess what happens to your subconscious mind? Where do you think its raw power goes to? Similarly, if you are married, or you are the pillar of society, you have to put up appearances. But there are inner drives in you, like maybe an addiction to porn, an addiction to sex out of marriage, or some other addiction. Guess which part of you fuels that? That's right, your subconscious mind. How come? You did not take full ownership of it. The more you ignore your subconscious, the more mysterious it appears. Think of your subconscious as a physical place that you consciously avoid. The more you refuse to explore something, the more mysterious it becomes. You make all sorts of weird guesses as to what's going on, and, oftentimes, these guesses are informed by your fears and amplified by your ignorance. The more you refuse to acknowledge your subconscious, or you go from thinking that it's off limits to thinking that it's just some place that you would never go to in a million years, eventually, you start to forget about it. Your mind is trained to not even think about it. What happens? Eventually, it would seem like it doesn't even exist. The sad reality behind all of this, of course, is the fact that you continue to live with its consequences. Its impact on your life is never going to go away. It's there regardless of whether you choose to see it or not. It's like that proverbial 800-pound elephant in the middle of the room. You can contort your body. You can play music, talk to your friends, and eat, but there's an 800-pound elephant in the room. The fact that you have become blind to it doesn't make it magically disappear. It's still there. The worst part is you're contorting your body. You're smelling its dung. You are living in cramped quarters. You're even feeling the heat. However, despite all of these, you refuse to see it. You live with its consequences, and you could infer its existence from those consequences, but you choose not to. It remains hidden to you because of your choice. This leads to a sad situation. No wonder you're feeling stuck. No wonder your relationships suck. No wonder you're out of shape. No wonder you have low self-esteem. It is no mystery. There is an 800-pound elephant in the room, but you refuse to acknowledge it. That's how pathetic a life lived in willful ignorance of your subconscious faculties can be. The key to your subconscious mind is to stop fearing it. A lot of people think of their subconscious mind, if they think about it at all, as some sort of shadow. It's their worst instinct. It's not their better angel. They make up all sorts of names for it. What they're really doing is they are basically covering up for their fear. Most people fear the unknown. And the problem is, with the subconscious mind, it will continue to be unknown unless and until you take ownership of it. In the following chapters, I'm going to step you through how to make this happen. On your subconscious mind. It's part of you. It's natural. It is the other half of your consciousness. It is the repository of your unremembered dreams. It is your impulses. It is the great beyond as far as your mind is concerned. Are you going to constantly run away from this and refuse to tap its unlimited power? Or are you going to own it, warts and all? Taking ownership means refusing to be afraid. There are many things collected by your subconscious mind that you would rather not look at. This may be childhood trauma. This may be sick, twisted, and embarrassing thoughts that you may have. You have to overcome your repulsion to these things when you take ownership of your subconscious mind because it is part of you. That fact is not going to go away. This is part of you. And if you want to change something or change its direction or make it work towards a better outcome, you have to first claim ownership and stop fearing. Taking ownership of your subconscious mind means refusing to feel guilty. If you emotionally beat yourself regularly, please understand that this is not just some free-floating anxiety. It's not just something that enters your mind because your brain has nothing else better to do. This comes from somewhere. It has a cause. It is not random. When you take ownership of your subconscious mind, you can start refusing to feel guilty. Feeling guilty is a choice. When you feel remorse or regret about certain things that happened in the past or choices that you've made, those are your interpretations of those facts. You can choose to learn from them and move on, or you can choose to beat yourself up emotionally over and over again. It's your choice. Guilt is an emotional interpretation. When you take full ownership of your subconscious, you quickly realize that this is going on. You quickly understand that there are better options out there. Guilt, remorse, regret, as powerful as they may be, can hold you back and drag you down. Wouldn't it be better to learn from them and use them the way they were intended? These emotions feel bad because they're intended to teach us a lesson. If anything, we're supposed to use them as motivation to make better decisions in the future. When you take ownership, you allow yourself to do this. You allow yourself to be curious again because now you could look at how you've been coping and try to come up with an alternative. If you've been racked by guilt because you disappointed your parents for over 30 years, your curiosity might lead to a different interpretation or, better yet, a different coping mechanism, but none of this is going to happen if you continue to stay where you are. If you continue to refuse to take ownership, you will suffer the same results as before. The bottom line is whatever negative consequences of your actions you're feeling, they arise primarily from your refusal to take ownership of these emotions. They're coping mechanisms. You can choose to cope in different ways. You are not stuck with the way you've done things for years. It may seem like it, but you actually have a lot more control and a lot more say over your situation than you care to realize. Take ownership. Learn to explore your subconscious mind. Start a journal and explore the things that you fear. Explore how you normally respond to this fear. Please understand that you are looking at circumstantial evidence. In other words, for you to know if the world is really round, it's not like you can put yourself in a rocket, shoot yourself thousands of miles up into the atmosphere, and then verify once and for all that the Earth is round. The simpler and more practical way to do it is wait for the next eclipse. When you see the eclipse, then you know exactly that the Earth's shadow is round. The same applies to your subconscious. There are many ways to explore it, and believe me, a lot of them are very, very hard. The easiest way to do it is through just circumstantial evidence. Pay close attention to what you are afraid of. You can't quite find a rational reason why you are afraid of certain things. That is your subconscious mind speaking to you. Pay close attention to this. List these out. Come up with a collection of these and then pay attention to the things that you're guilty of or you feel remorseful about. Look at all the negative emotions you have and then pay close attention to them, catalog them, because they start giving you a snapshot of your subconscious mind. Learn to map out your intuition. Have you ever noticed that in certain situations, you tend to say the right things at the right time to produce the right results with the right people? A lot of the times, this is not due to your prior training. A lot of the times this is not due to the fact that you were groomed to do that kind of thing. Instead, it just came out of you. Well, that is your subconscious mind as well, because intuition is a big part of your subconscious mind. Map that out, become fully aware of that. Wrap your mind around it. Take ownership of it. This is not a scary thing. A lot of people think that this is some sort of scene from The Exorcist or some horror movie. In fact, judging by how some people talk about this situation, it's as if they're describing that scene in the movie Alien, where the alien punches a hole through some guy's chest as people were operating on the guy. Really grotesque, really sad, and really distorted. Because your subconscious mind is beautiful. Don't be afraid of the beauty of your subconscious mind. Let's get real. A lot of your nightmares come from your subconscious mind because this is the area that you really can't control. So a lot of your desires, a lot of your perversions, a lot of your twisted logic, and all that other mental debris, you try to segregate unconsciously into your subconscious mind. So it's kind of like a dumping ground for half-baked, unformed thoughts and frustrated wishes. But just like any garbage dump can be located near a beautiful park or a wide-open, green field right under a beautiful, wide-open, blue, endless sky, your subconscious mind can be a thing of beauty. So don't just focus on the things that you'd rather run away from or are embarrassed about. Focus on the whole picture. Learn to live in your subconscious mind. Learn to appreciate the things in your subconscious mind and be comfortable in it, because this is the key to taking control over it. If there are certain things that you're guilty about, confront them, look at them straight in the eye. Did this really happen? And is this a reasonable reaction? You'd be surprised as to how many twisted, painful, tortured memories in your subconscious can be dealt with once and for all if you were just adult enough to stand up to them. Learn to live in the moment. Embracing your subconscious mind means you have to accept living in the moment. A lot of people have a tough time living in the moment. Either they are tortured by the past, or they're frozen stiff by worries about the future. But if you want to have a chance at taking full ownership and controlling your subconscious mind, you have to take control of it with the present in mind. In other words, be aware of the present moment. Your mind should be focused right here, right now. Be fully conscious as much as you can. Get rid of sentimentality and delusions. There are many different types of delusions. The most common is that we think that we should act a certain way or have a certain bearing because that's what other people around us expect us to do. It's some sort of protocol. It's some sort of unwritten rule that we have to follow. You can't handle your subconscious mind that way because it's deep down in you and it's personal. You have to deal with it in the rawest and most immediate way. It's not going to be pretty. There are going to be a lot of memories there that you have been avoiding. They're probably going to freak you out, but you have to take control of them. You have to take ownership of them. This is no time to put up appearances. This is no time to try to live up to other people's expectations. Forget that. This is about you. You're doing it for yourself because you know you're capable of so much more. You know you could be so much happier. Get rid of the worst form of delusion, regret. When you regret certain things that have happened and you feel sorry that things have turned out a certain way, what's really happening? Don't you ever stop to ask yourself that question? What are you really doing when you're feeling regret? When you feel regret, you're constantly thinking about what should have happened, what you could have done, or what you would have done if things were different. What do these sentiments all have in common? That's right. You keep rehashing and replaying traumatic scenes from the past over and over in your head. That's like suffering a burn when you were a kid and then burning yourself again and again every time you remember that incident. A lot of people who go through regret are thinking, well, when I do that, I'm actually thinking about solutions. I'm thinking about alternatives. I'm thinking about healing. No, you're not. You're only doing this for emotional release. You're going through the motions, but you're not really doing anything tangible to free yourself from the tentacles of this nasty emotion. Do you see the difference? It's like wanting to change the weather by choosing to chew gum. It doesn't make any sense. There's no connection, and the worst part of our regret is you're actually making things worse because those emotional wounds happened in the past. The past is never going to come back unless you allow yourself to get emotionally worked up about the past so it becomes vivid again. In many cases, it may have started out small or almost insignificant, but as you grew older, you started reading too much into it and you started blowing up its emotional impact. The end result? You're more miserable now about it. Stop doing this. Understand what you're doing. You're doing this for emotional release. However, that's not the solution. That's just as worthless as daydreaming. For example, you have a tough time paying rent. You have no money to your name. Every single day, you almost get fired from your job, so you daydream about you becoming rich. You daydream about living in a big house with amazing cars and traveling all over the world. The daydream doesn't really solve your problem in the here and now, but it does give you an emotional escape. Who wants the sting and humiliation of the landlord knocking on your door demanding the rent? Who wants to hassle with a supervisor telling you that you're screwing up and you're just one step away from getting fired? However, instead of confronting these head-on by looking at actual workable solutions, you daydream about an alternative life where all your current problems are gone. You get the emotional release, but not much else. This is mental and emotional candy. It doesn't help you. The same applies to regret. It doesn't help. Learn to trust yourself. Stop second-guessing yourself. When you're dealing with your subconscious mind, it's going to be rough. You're going to think that there are so many things there that you'd rather not deal with. There are so many things there that are simply impossible. No, that's just an illusion. They seem impossible because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself enough to change. You don't trust yourself enough to make the right steps at the right time to produce the right outcome. In other words, this is your self-esteem talking. You have such a low view of yourself, and that's why you feel incapable. Other people have overcome that fear and tapped into their fullest mind. And that's why they live life to the fullest. If people can do that, why can't you? You're not much different from them. The only difference really is attitude. Catalogue your subconscious mind. As I have said earlier, list down all your fears. List down all the things that are making you guilty. List down all the things that are making you anxious. List down all the things that are making you sad. List all of the things that you think you remember that have a profound emotional impact on you. Also, list down the crucial turning points in your life that led you to where you are. Now, once you have all this information, you are ready to conduct a circumstantial investigation of your subconscious mind. Compile a subconscious mind profile. To hunt a fugitive, the FBI starts out with a profile. Your personal fugitive is your subconscious mind. For the longest time, you don't know what it is, you're afraid of it, and that's why you don't really feel you know it well enough. But you can come up with a composite. Based on the listings that you did in Chapter 8, come up circumstantially with who your subconscious mind is, what it's capable of, what it's currently doing. List down what your subconscious mind is currently doing. List down what your subconscious mind is capable of. Be aware of the disconnect. This is crucial when you realize that your subconscious mind has been feeding your fears and insecurities. You are using that Ferrari as a paperweight. It's not doing its job. It's supposed to make your life better. It's supposed to make you feel empowered. It's supposed to give you the tools that you need to live life to the fullest. Instead, it's making it worse. Instead, you're using its power to fuel the things that are dragging you down, holding you back, and making you feel small, weak, powerless, ugly, repulsive, unemployable, pathetic, and sad. Is this what you want? This is not what most people want. But the problem is, you can say, this is not what I want. In fact, you can say it until you're blue in the face. But if you're like most people, you have fallen in love with your handcuffs. You've fallen in love with the invisible prison that you've surrounded yourself with because it's the only thing you know. There is comfort in misery. You know you deserve so much more, but it hurts to strive for more. Plus, there is also that overarching threat, that looming possibility of imminent failure, pain, and rejection. You've fallen in love with your handcuffs. I want you to overcome your fear. It's not easy, this is almost impossible, but look at the life that you have right now, and your capacity, and compare it to the disconnect between the power of your subconscious and the life that you have right now. Do you see the disconnect? It should be glaring. It should be obvious. People 10 miles away should be able to see it without even using binoculars or even glasses. It sticks out. What are you going to do about it? Write down a new vision for yourself with a full mind. Create a vision board for yourself. I want you to take pictures from all over the internet that highlight what your goals are. If you are living life with a full mind. This is made up of your conscious and subconscious mind. I want you to create different categories on that vision board: health, relationships, mindset, finances, career, spirituality. And under each, come up with pictures from all over the internet of the ideal that you want for yourself. Unleash your subconscious mind with the technique. Constantly play the mental movie of your life that you consciously choose. Believe it or not, we already play mental movies in our heads. We play mental movies when we're planning. We play mental movies when we're looking forward to something. In fact, when you were a kid, you probably played mental movies all the time. Do you remember in the middle of summer thinking about Christmas? When you thought about Christmas when you were a little kid, what kind of images came to mind? A movie came to mind. You started thinking about unwrapping that toy that you've always wanted. You imagined yourself marveling at the Christmas tree with all those neatly wrapped gifts at the foot of the tree. It's that anticipation for Christmas along with the freshly cooked meals and the smiles on everybody's faces, as well as the warm hugs of family and friends you haven't seen in a long time. That's what made Christmas so special, and it's all in vivid display in the mental movie that we played to ourselves when we were kids. You already know how to do this. What I'm asking you is to recapture that ability. If you still don't get me, here's a negative example. Have you ever worried yourself sick? Have you ever been gripped with so much anxiety about something going horribly wrong? Chances are you were playing a mental movie in your head. Maybe you were thinking that your boss will find out about what you did at work and you will find yourself out on the streets without a job. Perhaps you were worried about missing the rent payment and you are gripped by the fear of being put out by your landlord and becoming homeless and living out of your car. People already do this, but they often do it in the context of fear or regret. The good news is we don't have to keep playing that kind of mental movie. We only need to switch the direction of that mental movie viewing skill that we already have to something more positive. Focus on your plans. Focus on your subconscious mind working for you. Think of concrete examples of this, like getting a better job, getting promoted, going back to school and doing well, and pair this with real actions. Don't just delude yourself that somehow, someway, I'm going to go back to school and I will learn the skills that I need to take my life to the next level. That's not going to work. There has to be matching action. There has to be some sort of proactive action or decision that you have taken. This mental movie just gives it more immediacy. You get that fresh dose of willpower to keep pushing you forward. After all, when you make any kind of plan, there will always be opposition. There will always be an unforeseen event. As the old saying goes, life is what happens when you're making other plans. Your plans may seem crystal clear to you. Everything might fit neatly, but by the time you actually take action on them, things turned out to be a bit more complicated than you had hoped. That's how life works. Life is full of curveballs. You're going to have to roll with the blows. Learning how to play your mental pictures the right way works wonders in rolling with the blows and making you more versatile and flexible as a person. Write down the ideal life for yourself based on your vision board. Do you have the images? Now, write down a summary of that. Write down a script of that. Read it again and again until you can memorize it. Does it make sense to you? Does it strike deep? Is it true? Does it strike to the core of who you are? Does it speak of your character? If your answer to any of these is no, you have to go back to stage 1 and repeat until you answer all these questions with a resounding yes. Turn your statement into a mental video. Now that you have a statement of your full mind enabling you to achieve your biggest goals in life, turn it into a video. Imagine yourself with a full mind achieving these things. It must be vivid, it must be clear. There has to be no hint of a hope, a wish, or some passing fancy. It has to be so real in your mind that you can reach out and touch it. Unleash the power of all your senses when mentally rehearsing your desired reality. Your subconscious mind remembers. It writes future reality in the form of intuition, but you have to help it along. You have to keep rehearsing the mental movie that you have written for yourself and make sure that you engage all your senses. While sitting back and watching a movie play out in front of your eyes is very powerful, we can take things to the next level when we add all our other senses in that movie. Don't just imagine the things that you can see. Don't just vividly seek an alternative reality. Pay attention to what you hear, touch, taste, and smell. Engineer these into your mental video. This is your preferred reality. This is your chosen outcome. Unleash the power of mental states. There are many times in your life when you feel empowered. It seems like your body and your mind are lined up and you are able to make things happen. Remember that time at work when you were tired, but you were still able to complete your assignment and then some? Remember that time at school when you were supposed to read 200 pages and you were able to finish 500 pages? Remember that sense of pride that you got when you graduated high school and received your diploma. Zero in on those memories. Tap into the power of your subconscious mind, animating those memories. Because if you can achieve that same physiological state, you would be able to overcome your conscious mind's worries, limitations, and blockages to achieve the same result. Let's put it this way. If you were able to achieve success in the past, what's preventing you from achieving victory now? You were able to do it before. So when you assume the physiological state, when your chest is out, when your back is straight, when your eyes are wide open, and there's a smile on your face, and there's this can-do attitude that just basically fills you, you are able to break out of the current funk that you're in. Because if you don't change anything, you will get the same results. As the old saying goes, insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's not going to happen, so you have to change what you do. That means changing your physiological state because obviously it's not doing you any favors and you need your subconscious mind for this. Trust your subconscious mind when doing planning. It's very easy to plan on a straight 1, 2, 3 basis. You're basically just going through the motions. You're just filling in a template of what you already know. There's really no creativity there, much less intuition and insight. This is where your subconscious mind can come in. Look at that blank page, and instead of feeling bound to do things the exact same way you've done them 1,000 times before, let your subconscious mind fill that blank page with no preconceptions. You'd be surprised at the results. You'd be surprised at the connections you are able to make which can lead to breakthroughs. Please understand that this requires discipline. So, your subconscious mind and your conscious mind have to line up, but the good news is, if you just let your subconscious mind fill it out, just off the top of your head, anything that comes to your mind, and then you can reorganize, and then rationalize, and then come up with something better. Learn to trust the moment. I know you're supposed to hold your tongue. I know you're supposed to think before you talk, but oftentimes, great breakthroughs are made when something out of the blue was said at the right time, and this changes the trajectory of the conversation and unleashes a chain reaction. Remember, you are always sending vibrations to the lives of other people around you. You have an effect on the universe. You have an impact. It can be your facial expressions. It can be your proposals. It can be your actions. It can be your words. There are just so many ways you can impact people around you. But instead of constantly checking yourself, worried sick about what other people would think, trust your subconscious mind if it's pushing you to say something. It may come off as rude, it may seem like you're interrupting people, but that might be exactly what's needed. That might be the push that leads to the breakthrough. So trust yourself. Tap into your subconscious mind to forgive yourself. There are many memories that we hang on to that make us sick to this very day, or make us feel bad, or feel small. They are flat-out lies, seriously. They are false memories. They had some sort of association in the past, and for whatever reason, we thought it actually happened, when it turns out it's not true. You have to be honest with your subconscious mind because it's stockpiling all of these. Your conscious mind contains some of these, but your subconscious mind gives it power. So your job is to revisit your personal past. I know that it's painful to think about past child abuse. You're probably not all that thrilled to remember that day when your father abandoned your family, but you have to look at those events and figure out what actually happened, what is its interpretation, and what did I blow up out of proportion, what did I read in. You'd be surprised that even in situations where bad things did happen, like your father or your mother did abandon you, it doesn't have to be crippling. It doesn't have to be this weight that you have to carry with you for the rest of your life. Allow your subconscious mind to unlock its secrets and get in there and take ownership of its contents, catalog them, and then analyze them. Ultimately, it's all about, are the memories that I'm holding on for dear life helping me to get ahead, or are they just dragging me down and making me feel small, or weak, powerless, ugly, repulsive, talentless, incompetent, stupid? You're the only person who knows how to do this because everybody's different. But you have to go in there, you have to get into that mental warehouse of your subconscious mind and take stock. Otherwise, these things will have weight. Conclusions. Seize control of your life today. Each morning you wake up, you're a step closer to your inevitable end. I don't intend to be grim or depress you, but it's a reality check. Every day you postpone making a personal breakthrough in your consciousness is a day wasted. The information I've shared in this book holds power only if you act upon it. You can read this book countless times, but it won't enhance your life until you decide to take action. Understand that this isn't a one-time, quick-fix solution. It's a commitment. It took time to develop the habits and mindsets that shape who you are today, and it will take time to reprogram yourself. This doesn't mean you have to completely change or deny who you are. View it as a promotion or an upgrade because, if you're reading this book, chances are you're not entirely satisfied with your life. Let's be honest here. Do yourself a favor and act on these suggestions. Take it one step at a time, but eventually you'll get there. Your most potent weapon? Honesty. Be brutally honest with yourself. Don't hold on to any sacred cows, instead, prepare for a barbecue. Turn those sacred cows into burgers, steaks, and burritos. I wish you a fulfilling journey.